With notable innovations like the fully immersive land concept first introduced for Hogsmeade as part of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and interactive add-on experiences like the power-up bands at Super Nintendo World, it makes you wonder what will Universal Creative pull off next to bring them to the forefront of innovation in theme parks as well as build upon their revenue streams. When it comes to this, I believe these can be broken down into two main categories. These are building upon their already established Parks and Resorts division, as well as expanding them with newer experimental offerings. When it comes to improving upon Universal's current resort division, some of their recent offerings which can give us a clue into their future, including providing more immersive, interactive, and add-on options to their parks. In addition to this, all of their additions look to improve upon the convenience and quality factor of them. When it comes to the latter, Universal has been doing this via several different methods, like the remodeling of several different restaurants around the resort, as well as improving upon the food quality and providing a takeout window option. Another example of this across their resorts is the addition of facial recognition technology that's being slowly rolled out across the whole resort, including areas like the ticket booth, lockers, and Express Pass. When it comes to future IPs that could be home inside these parks, I think Universal will be leaning more towards a nostalgic offering, something that they have been pushing recently with additions like the Mega Movie Parade and City Stational, as well as newer IP or something that has more of a punch, something that they have done recently with Super Nintendo World, as well as the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, something that they continue to invest in today with new offerings and lands. In fact, Universal feels so strongly about this property and high rollers like this, despite the licensing fees, that they are willing to put not one, not two, but 3 lands of the property inside their Universal Orlando Resort. Some potential big rolling IPs like this in the traditional sense, like Harry Potter, could be the Lord of the Rings franchise, as well as a newer addition that has recently gained even more popularity in the form of Wicked, something in which the musical adaptation seems to be going well, and Universal will likely not have to pay not nearly as much licensing fees as they were to explore this option. Some exciting news that came out after this first part was recorded was that Wicked is now confirmed to be part of Universal Destinations and Experiences, as their CEO, Mark Woodbury, has now confirmed that Wicked, when he first saw it, first reaction was, "This is a theme park waiting to happen," as he told the New York Times. When it comes to where this could go inside the parks, while he didn't share any details on it, some potential areas that I think are likely are the Lost Continent, which has been mostly abandoned ever since Poseidon's Ferry closed after attempted to be revitalized, but ultimately could have faced some backstage issues with this due to it closing shortly after this major refurbishment, as well as the Simpsons Land over at Universal Studios, as this park desperately needs a major new draw to help it compete with Islands of Adventure and soon Epic Universe as well. In addition to this, Simpsons will also be expiring in 2028 with its 20-year contract running out, and Universal likely not choosing to continue it, with the property now being owned by Disney, as well as the land not aging the greatest. Some more non-traditional IPs that Universal could be looking to explore is that of the video game or toy franchise, as several companies are taking the opportunity to explore these different intellectual properties and exploit them, as they have proven fan bases and bring in lots of money. For instance, Merlin Entertainment recently signed a deal to allow for them to have the rights for Minecraft in their parks. In addition to this, other companies like Universal have partnered with Nintendo to bring lands like Super Nintendo World to their resorts worldwide, and other companies like Port Aventura bring an Uncharted Dark Ride to their park. In addition to this, we're also seeing video games used in more seasonal offerings as well. Other non-traditional IPs that some may not think of on the surface but end up having a lot of potential to explore is those like toys, something that Mattel is recently exploring with their Mattel Adventure Park in partnership with Epic Resorts Destinations. In addition to this, toys have proven that they can successfully translate into a theme park environment and rake in millions, as the Merlin Entertainment has proven with Legoland, which has several locations spread around the world. In addition to this, Other industries are also hopping on this trend and cashing in on these popular IPs, with several movies being based upon video games as well as toys also raking in millions, as long as they have a proper story and execution to tell along with it. When it comes to other properties that contain a massive fan base and have a massive reach, is those like creators, as not only do these creators reach up to hundreds of millions of people, they also have a parasocial relationship that has been built upon years and years of content creation. Outside of this parasocial relationship, the amount of people that they reach on a daily is way bigger than some of the most popular video games and franchises. In addition to this, we're only now starting to see some of the impacts that they can have, as Taylor Swift's recent Eras tour brought in several $1 billion with a B in economic impacts. Other areas of this that have proven popular built upon creators is those like Dollywood, created by the singer Dolly Parton and partnered with Fairchild Entertainment to build a theme park in Tennessee. Another example of such success stories is those like Jimmy Buffett, who built upon some of his popular songs to expand the Margaritaville brand, which now branches across several different restaurants as well as resorts around the world. However, despite all this success and the amount of potential that there is to grow upon it, we have yet to see a major theme park willing to foot the bill and make such a space in their resort. However, that could soon change as more and more experimental properties are willing to be explored and proven to be successful. With all of this though, it is important to remember that regardless of the property, it's the execution of it that matters first and foremost, as a bad execution could go bankrupt as well as not be well received by guests. When it comes to exploring areas outside of the theme park that Universal could be looking to explore, we should first look into some of these current offerings as well as some potential future ones that Universal could be looking to build upon. When it comes to experimental offerings that Universal has already completed, one of the main ones is Universal's Great Movie Escape. This escape room took a twist on the classic escape room, which is a proven industry that can be successful profit-wise if executed right, and took its own twist on it, as outside of providing Universal IPs as well as quality to most of the rooms. One of the major changes was that there was more than one room in the form of, unlike a typical escape room that just had one or two, this consisted of up to 8. While this setup can be fun for some guests, unfortunately it did come with a lot of mixed feedback, as while some guests are really good at puzzles were able to escape through them, other guests were not able to go as far into the game and often not getting the whole experience as a result, as well as often being rushed between rooms, as well as did help ensure a higher capacity for the individual escape rooms. It did also mean rushing guests between each one, as after he didn't solve a room for a certain period of time, you'd be given a hint or just automatically come up with an excuse to move you forward into the story. While the Universal Great Movie Escape is still opening and operating today, one interesting aspect of it is that it has not yet been cloned to other resorts, including Universal Studios Hollywood, which is currently building escape rooms of its own in City Walk. These escape rooms, however, will be as a result of a licensing deal with Universal renting out the space, not their IP, to an already established traditional escape room brand, instead of building their own escape rooms. Likewise, while this may be unfortunate, it is interesting for other reasons as well, as Universal will also likely be able to see just how profitable these escape rooms are compared to the Universal Great Movie Escape. As in big malls like this that have a bigger punch, some companies often get a percentage of the overall sales or profit. As a result, Universal would be able to calculate which option gave them a higher return on investment. Other experimental offerings that Universal has done that have been rolled out this time to multiple different parks, albeit to different reviews based on the type of food being served and his execution of it, is Twosome's Chocolate Emporium. While I personally enjoyed the shake, the food was good but not good enough to make me go back for it. That said, most resort guests are tourists and traditionally would go and try a place. However, bad execution in certain aspects or areas, like Universal Studios Hollywood, could result in a lot of locals not choosing to come back and the area being less busy as a result. When it comes to areas of experimental properties that Universal has yet to debut, they have quite a few. These include Universal's Kid-Based Resort in Texas, which will feature a smaller budget area designed for kids, almost like an improved playground area, but not to the scale of their traditional theme parks. However, this is a proven market, but Universal has not yet entered into it. That said, I do feel like this could offer lots of potential going forward with its unique aspect of Universal IP, creative, and it being an overall great way to introduce guests to the Universal brand before they age out of it and introduce them to Universal's other more traditional resorts. Another offering that will be opening this year in August is Universal Horrors Unleashed. This will build upon their Halloween Horror Nights exhibit that has happened seasonally every year with a multitude of houses and shows across a variety of their resorts and has been proven massively successful. As a result of this, Universal will be building a year-round exhibit for it over in Las Vegas in a more entertainment-focused sector of it that will be headlining the Area 15 expansion. Like Universal Kids, I also believe this has high room to grow due to a combination of an already proven haunted house event, as well as Las Vegas's tourist industry. Speaking of the seasonal events at Universal Resorts, the Halloween Horror Nights is the only, or at least was, the only paid premium offering for the parks, with other offerings like Mardi Gras and Christmas being free holiday offerings. This, however, will soon change, with Universal's first ever second offering of a premium pay format event, this being Universal Fan Fest, coming to Universal Studios Hollywood. This event will feature properties with a strong fan base ranging from sci-fi to animation, as well as licensed property, some of which have not even debuted in other Universal parks. Their debut will be in a variety of different formats, from simple meet and greets to elaborate sets and interactive environments, as well as other attractions that have been featured in other parks around the world. This is not only a great way to increase your return on investment of some of these investments that can already be found in other areas around the world, but also cash in on the popular fandoms of the different areas without fully investing in a permanent addition to your park. Likewise, Universal is taking note of how popular their different IPs are and how well each one played a role in one's decision to go to the event, as seen in this survey sent out to guests. Another recently announced offering that will be debuting in the second quarter of 2025 is Jurassic World The Experience, a $36 million investment in Thailand that will be opening on a 4,000 square meter plot of land in a popular mall that will help bring popular areas of the Jurassic World franchise into the market. This will not only be a great way to cash in on the franchise and its popularity, but also establish a presence and test the market of an area that currently does not have a theme park that serves the Asia market outside of Universal Studios Beijing. It's not just Universal cashing in on their property and seeing what works when it comes to more experimental offerings and diversifying their current offerings as a company, as other companies like Hasbro and Netflix are also jumping in on the game, each with their own collective experience. I bring this up because regardless of the company, all these new, more experimental offerings seem to have at least some foundation of an already established market that has been proven successful. And as a result, each company is willing to take a slice of the risk and build upon this already established area with their own unique twist. With this in mind, some potential areas that I believe Universal could go and explore into, with some rebranding themselves into Universal Destinations and Experiences as they look to explore more and more experimental offerings and no longer be constrained to just a parks resort destination area, are more premium paid events pending on the success of Universal Fan Fest, a cruise ship, timeshare, and a premium club program. When it comes to the cruise ship industry, I believe this could be a great fit for Universal, but also not so much at the same time. You see, the cruise ship industry has been drastically successful with several different cruise lines bringing upon their popular target audience. However, when it comes to this target audience, I do feel like Universal's current target audience is mostly already targeted by Royal Caribbean. That said, I do feel like there could be a good combination of interests of the two. as while combining a new cruise line from the beginning and trying to gain more market share in it could be really hard and difficult, as well as very capital expensive. Universal partnering with Royal Caribbean could be the best option moving forward as they wanted to pursue their own cruise line industry, as this note would not only bring Universal's own popular IP, but could also benefit Royal Caribbean, bringing a great partnership between the two different companies, as Royal Caribbean would get Universal's IP to use and license and promoting their own brand, similar to what Disney has done with their family target audience of the Disney Cruise Line, while Universal would be able to capitalize on already established cruise line industry with a similar target audience where they would not only not compete with them, but also not have to invest as much when doing so in the process. Perhaps the most interesting thing about this potential collaboration between the two parties is that a small collaboration of this has already started and will soon be rolled out, as the Back to the Future, the musical, a popular show currently performed on Broadway, will be having its own version performed on Royal Caribbean's Star of the Seas ship, which will be rolling out in August of 2025. If successful for both parties, I could see this deal being expanded on in the future and rolled out to the entire fleet, as well as bringing more Universal properties to the ship and even potentially rebranding the organization as a whole. Another profitable industry that Universal could be looking to go into is the timeshare program. While this program is often not the best option for the majority of guests, it is drastically profitable for the company offering them, and as a result has been rolled out across a variety of different resorts, including Universal's own competitor, Disney, which offers Disney's Vacation Club at a variety of their different resort properties, most of them including their park areas, but also some other areas as well, like Disney's Aulani Resort over in Hawaii. On the surface, this seems like a great way for Universal to gain more revenue for their already investments into the resorts around the world. However, this is unlikely to ultimately happen due to the hotels being operated by Loews. While this current partnership is working great between the two companies and likely to be expanded with Universal Studios Hollywood's upcoming hotel, I do feel like there is some trouble to it, as Universal would be unlikely to go forward with such a timeshare program, especially considering that Loews, to my knowledge, does not appear to have a current timeshare program as well. That said though, I do feel like this partnership could continue to grow and prosper with more and more resorts coming to their parks around the world. In addition to this, one potential hotel area that I could see Universal expand upon that is currently not served by their hotels is the RV park and camping segment of it, as with their newly acquired land for Epic Universe and the space around it, some potential hotel areas that Universal could be looking to build upon, it could be an RV park. This potential market cap provides not only new opportunities for revenue growth, but also opens up the door for potential consumers who would have an RV and not want to stay in a hotel as a result. One potential future investment that Universal Destinations and Experiences could make to build upon their already established brand that would not require too much capital or building of new spaces could be a Club 33-like program, as this high-paying exclusive program offers a variety of benefits for both the park operating it as well as the guests visiting it, as well as appealing to the more wealthy audience of a park, and helping capitalize on the variety of different incomes of those park guests, and make sure that they don't feel eliminated, as well as Universal not missing out on other options of revenue. When it comes to its revenue, it is drastically profitable, and not only that, it has been proven successful with Disneyland and Disney World, as well as Disney's other locations around the world in which it was eventually rolled out to, as this expensive offering not only requires minimal investment when it comes to the parks, but it would be a great way to give more exclusive benefits to the parks and Universal more money in their wallets. As a result of this, I would say that this is highly likely, especially as the resort continues to grow and expand, of bringing a more experienced and high quality offerings to their park. In the end, I do feel like this quality is the most important aspect, as regardless of how well a different quality may perform, if you leave a bad experience, it leaves a bad taste in a guest's mouth, while a great experience can do wonders for a park or whatever the offering may entail. Ultimately though, at the end of the day, whatever Universal does choose to explore, it's the hearts and minds of the families and guests that visit the resort that matter first and foremost, to help make a memorable experience and decades of memories to come, to help make Universal Destinations experiences more than an experience, but a memory that guests will remember forever.